Good evening. It was during rush hour on Friday evening when Georgia was sexually assaulted on a bus. That a woman would be targeted on London's transport network is sadly not surprising. But what shocked Georgia is the reaction of her fellow passengers. Despite tearing up and looking around for help, she says people were indifferent and some seemed entertained. She believes teenagers were giggling and even recording the encounter. Georgia has waived her right to anonymity to speak to our correspondent, Simon Harris.
What does it take for people to step in when a bus passenger is being assaulted? That's the question Georgia is asking after her journey home from the gym in East London.
I was on the bus 2 minutes, went up to the top deck, sat by the window, and a man approached me and sexually assaulted me.
In front of other passengers?
Yes.
You're certain they could see what was happening?
Yes.
What did they do?
Absolutely nothing. They just sat there and watched. People were just staring and whispering and I think taking videos as well, but no one intervened.
Georgia says she asked the man sitting next to her to let her move and then used her mobile to dial 999. She was on a number 257 in Leytonstone and has nothing but praise for the bus driver who terminated the journey at the next stop. But the reaction of other passengers left her perplexed.
I'm absolutely shocked by it and never ever would have imagined that nobody would have, backed me up to help. And I was left to deal with it all on my own.
The latest figures reveal there were 907 sexual offences reported across TfL services in the first half of last year. More than a third, 382, took place on the bus network, and 31% of sexual offences took place between 4 and 8 p.m.
Hello. We just got up and sat next to her and acted like we were her mates.
Last year, TfL launched a campaign called Act Like a Friend, encouraging people to intervene safely if they witness sexual harassment or hate crime on the transport network.
That can sometimes mean trying to distract somebody by pretending that they know them or speaking to them and asking for directions. It can mean that they are actually involving somebody else. It could be going away, calling the police. It could be trying to get a security guard or somebody else to come and help.
I was looking around and I was trying to get someone's attention, and obviously I was, tearing up. I was about to start crying and unfortunately nobody cared.
Georgia says another passenger told her the man who assaulted her left the bus and ran off. Scotland Yard said it was investigating, but no one has been arrested. Simon Harris, ITV News, Leytonstone.
Next tonight, with fighting in the Middle East pushing energy prices ever higher, food producers here say they're facing disaster. Our political correspondent is at a nursery in the Lee Valley for us now. Simon.
Yes, for 150 years, the Lee Valley, just north of the M25, has been home to some of the biggest salad growers in the country. The tomatoes, peppers and cucumbers grown here end up on supermarket shelves and eventually our plates. But this is an industry that's deeply concerned, and that, say consumer experts, is reason for all of us to be worried. The vast greenhouses of the Lee Valley have earned this area the nickname of London's salad bowl. Others know it as the cucumber capital of Britain. But the Iran war is casting a shadow over this summer's crops.
This particular block is 22 acres, 16, 17 football pitches in size, and we are producing cherry tomatoes on the vine. And then further down we have bell peppers.
Jimmy Russo has seen his gas bill almost double in a month. On top of that, supplies of fertiliser have been hit.
Fertiliser, which is the one that's got a little bit out of control, that's up 50%, and we're not even sure we can get what we want. A lot of the products coming from the Middle East at the moment, and there's boats stuck with product that's due here into Europe.
The glass houses at Nazing on the Essex-Hertfordshire border are heated by hot water piped around the site from a boiler house. To get the tomatoes, peppers and aubergine ready for the supermarkets, the temperature in here needs to be kept at an average of 18 degrees. Lower at night, higher during the day, and that takes an awful lot of gas. Every summer, growers in the Lee Valley produce 80 million cucumbers, 100 million peppers and 30,000 tonnes of tomatoes. The longer the war lasts, the more worrying it is for producers and ultimately shoppers.
When they're saying that their costs are soaring, so we're seeing, cucumbers and all that kind of thing, that they use heated greenhouses, so their costs are going to be more. So they're either going to stop growing the stuff, or they're going to have to put those prices onto supermarkets, who will put those prices onto us. And of course, we'll probably see fewer deals as well.
Like many growers, this nursery agreed prices with its customers 6 months in advance. So for now, the cost burden of war in the Middle East falls on them. Simon Harris, ITV News, Nazing.
Now, the Prime Minister was notably absent as Labour launched its local election campaign for London this afternoon. Instead, it was over to Sir Sadiq Khan to fend off questions about the party's polling struggles. And unsurprisingly, he wasn't keen to discuss reports he may be made a lord after May's elections, telling ITV News London's viewers not to believe everything you see in the media. He spoke to our political correspondent, Simon Harris.
It might have been in a nightclub, but Labour's election campaign launch in London had a subdued beat. The star turns in the converted multi-storey car park in Peckham with the Mayor and former leader Ed Miliband, plus the leaders of some but not all of Labour's London boroughs and half a dozen MPs. Noticeably absent from today's launch was Labour's most high-profile London MP, the Prime Minister. Why isn't the Prime Minister here today? Has he given up on London?
Not at all. The Prime Minister's a very busy man. He's got lots of international and national responsibilities. I'm proud to be here.
Which councils are you worried about losing?
Oh, I'm not going to hypothesise about the results. What I'm going to do is campaign alongside my colleagues, alongside our brilliant Mayor Sadiq Khan.
4 years ago, Labour captured 3 boroughs from the Conservatives, Barnet, Wandsworth and Westminster. But recent opinion polls suggest the party's winning streak might be over.
To some extent, Labour have managed to give the impression they don't care about London very much. They've just taken it for granted. Other parts of the country get extra money and extra interest. So there's an array of reasons why Labour probably are under pressure in the capital.
Sadiq Khan is at pains to persuade voters London is a safe city, but this week has seen young people go on the rampage in Clapham on 2 separate occasions. You this week have described the concept of lawless London as a false narrative. What do you make of what happened in Clapham?
What we've seen a couple of nights in Clapham is unacceptable. These young people reading messages on TikTok and other social media, going to Clapham. That's one of the reasons why the police will be increasing the number of officers covert and over in and around Clapham.
But that is a picture of lawless London.
And other parts of South London, because nobody should think is that there are no consequences if you break the law.
There has been talk that you might be elevated to the House of Lords.
I won't believe all I see in the media.
If you were, would you give up being mayor?
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals. I know I've got the best job in the world. I'm mayor of the greatest city in the world. I still have a lot to offer this city, and as long as Londoners continue to lend me their vote, I'll carry on being their mayor.
So whatever happens, you will serve as mayor until 2028?
At least.
Labour has long been the dominant party in London politics, but this election could change that. Simon Harris, ITV News, Peckham.